Hey Cowboys Nation, let's go for another round of news from America's team. Watch until the end so you don't miss any news and sign up to stay tuned for everything that comes out about the Cowboys.
Cowboys lineman, whose mantra was, "Don't let anything happen to Troy," dies at 49. Tony Hudson, a Dallas Cowboys offensive lineman in the 1990s whose mantra was, "Don't let anything happen to Troy," died in early February at the age of 49, according to an online obituary. A cause of death was not given. Our 1996 Dallas Cowboys rookies had a special bond, teammate Randall Godfrey said in a Facebook post. He made several trips to Valdosta to help with my annual football camps. I cherished every moment that he had me crying after laughing so hard. Godfrey then said goodbye to his friend. "You caught us off guard with this one. Take your rest, my brother." Gone too soon. Hudson played with the Cowboys through the 1999 season and appeared in 3 games with Washington in 2000. He signed with the Raiders in 2001, but was released before the regular season. Hudson went undrafted in 1996 after a benign tumor was found on his right lung during a physical. "My first thought was I would never get to play football anymore," Hudson told the Oklahoman newspaper in 1996. "But then I thought there's more to life than football. I just wanted to live my life. I talked to my mom about it and prayed about it." After the tumor was removed, the Cowboys signed him as a free agent. He spent 1996 on the practice squad and missed most of 1997 training camp because of a wrist injury, but he made his debut late in the year. "I just kept thinking, don't let anything happen to Troy Aikman. Don't do anything wrong. I was nervous at first and made a mistake early, but after that I just took care of business," he said at the time. "It's my first start, millions of people watching, and it's America's team. I had to perform right. Words can't describe what it was like out there." Cowboys could sign 1-3 TD Ravens RB in potential steal of free agency. The Dallas Cowboys need to find an answer at running back, and that could mean picking up a tenacious Baltimore Ravens running back. Gus Edwards has had a solid start to his NFL career, but is set for free agency and needs a new team. SI.com's Tim Ham recently addressed Edwards' future and stated that the Cowboys make sense as a suitor. While Edwards is a talented player, Ham describes a potential signing as a steal due to his projected contract numbers. One possible replacement for Pollard that could interest the Cowboys is Ravens running back Gus Edwards. Edwards might be just the guy to put some physicality back in the rushing game after the departure of Ezekiel Elliott, Ham wrote on February 12. And Edwards could be of tremendous value as well. Spotrac.com thinks Edwards' value on the open market is around $4.5 million, a virtual steal for the production he is capable of. The Cowboys could do far worse than Edwards, and they probably can't sign a better RB at that price. Edwards has proven he's a serious weapon in a 2 RB system, and can even carry the load as a lead back. Ravens RB Gus Edwards gets contract year opportunity. Injuries are never a positive, but they do open up opportunities for other players. That's exactly what happened with J.K. Dobbins and Edwards. Dobbins suffered a torn Achilles in Week 1, meaning that Edwards didn't take the backup role as initially planned. In some ways, Edwards excelled in the role. Pro Football Reference shows that he scored 13 touchdowns last season and his 810 rushing yards are the highest season total of his career. However, he averaged 4.1 yards per carry, nearly a whole yard less than his typical average. Edwards leaned into his bruiser role. But it's not like he exploded in terms of production, getting 198 handoffs. He was still effective, but it's important to realize that he's still at his best in a RB duo. And at $4-5 million a season, that's potentially worth it. Dallas should draft another RB no matter what, which could set up a new duo for a total cost of, say, $6 million a year. Cowboys RB Tony Pollard talks free agency. The potential departure of Tony Pollard is far from certain, but the signs seem to point toward an exit. While Pollard cracked the 1,000-yard mark, the issue was that Dallas paid a premium for it. Going into 2024, Pollard understands the situation. During an interview with Blogging the Boys, Pollard revealed that he wants to stay in Dallas but gets that the Cowboys have to make business decisions. "If I could choose, I would love to be in Dallas," Pollard said. But at the end of the day, it's a business. So, it is what it is. You gotta be ready for what comes. Pollard also explained that the weeks after the 2024 Super Bowl would clear up his future. Now that the Super Bowl is officially behind us, expect the ball to start rolling fairly quickly. Cowboys legend rips Jerry Jones, players have no honor. Over the weekend, legendary running back Emmitt Smith raised some eyebrows by saying he'd like to see the Cowboys make an effort at stealing Lions coach Dan Campbell. But in his conversation with Mike Florio and Chris Sims of Pro Football Talk, Smith was not shy about saying how he felt about the current state of the Cowboys and the direction of the team in general under longtime owner Jerry Jones. Buckle up. After a 12-5 season in which the Cowboys won the number 2 seed and a home game to open the playoffs, the team got knocked around by the Packers, falling behind 27-0 in the first half before going on to lose, 48-32. For Smith, all the talk of Jones and the Cowboys aiming for a championship is ringing hollow. You lose credibility, Smith said of Jones. And if you're losing credibility, you're losing respect. You lose respect, you have no honor. At the end of the day, I agree to some level. Things have to change. I thought the reason why I was so convinced that McCarthy was going to get fired because last year there was a whole lot of talk about, okay, this might be it. If he doesn't perform this year, okay, you're gonna accept 12 wins in the playoff berth, but you're gonna accept the way we got kicked out of the playoffs? I mean, dominated. Current state is not becoming of the mystique. The worst part of the misadventure from the Cowboys this season was the lack of urgency from the organization after the Packers' loss. The team let coach Mike McCarthy skate by, going into the final year of his contract, a guy the players now know as a lame duck. Smith, a Hall of Famer who spent 13 years with the Cowboys and 15 in the NFL, said he was disappointed by what he saw from the team on the field. It is not becoming of the Dallas Cowboys' mystique, respect the brand, Smith said. It is not the appropriate representation of the brand itself. Now, Jerry understands these kind of words. The brand, right? The star. Everything has to be pristine, but this was not that. Indeed, there were signs throughout the year that the Cowboys were not quite up to their record. The fact that they struggled on the road, going 4-5 away from Dallas, was the major signal. There was also the nearly non-existent Cowboys rookie class. And holes in the wide receiver group, on the defensive line, and at linebacker presented themselves, too, but the Cowboys never addressed them. That right there was so disappointing not only to me, but to many of our fans and including people that was like, what is that? It wasn't a good look, Smith said. Emmitt Smith on current Cowboys. These mother brothers. Finally, there is a feeling coming from Smith about a lack of pride within the current crop of Cowboys, and at the same time, the notion that the organization is selling itself on how good it has been in the past more than on what it has on the roster now. I'm tired of being sold on what the Cowboys could be, Smith said. I'm tired. I've had enough of it because I'm more about what the Cowboys really are. And who we really are and who we were. That's where I'm at. That's where everyone else is at. How do you allow this to happen? Smith pointed out that when he joined the Cowboys, there was a responsibility to win as a way to honor the winners that came before. We honored them. We respected them. We respected the history of the game. We love the game, Smith said. I respect the history of the game like no other. Ellipsis. I respect their play and I honor who they are because I'm honoring this position and I'm honoring the game. He's not getting that from the current group, and dropped a safe for work tag to describe the current Dallas squad. These mother brothers.